Hello, folks. Today I want to go over some of the transfer profile or transfer portal, players that's in the portal right now. Now, as you know, the transfer portal is it's basically the equivalent of free agency in the NFL. Everybody wants these players, or not everybody, but you get the point. Everybody's trying to get these players. There's over 1,000 players. It's probably 1,500 players. Oh, sorry. Thought something was outside. Anyways, I'm not going to go over all 1,500 players or however many. There's still people going into the portal as we're talking right now. So it would take me a week just recording this, going over every player and doing research. And you'd be talking. By the time we get through all those players, you'd be talking to a skeleton at this point, or a corpse. Anyways, we're just going to go over like the top 25 rated quarterbacks according to 24/7 Sports. Now, disclaimer here. Now, all these recruits, they're going to be discussed. They're 4-star recruits or 4-star rating for transfers. So, anyways, enough the context behind it. Now, as far as the transfer portal stuff, what I think about it, I think it's a good thing. However, I think there should be some caveats to it or some restrictions. I think you get one free pass for transferring. You basically go from one program to another without penalty. Now, if you start transferring like 2, 3, 4 times from programs, then I think you should have to sit out. Because in my line of thinking, if coaches and assistant coaches, head coaches, ADs, and all that can move from school to school without penalty, then so should players. Now, the issue with that is if we used old transfer rules logic where the player had to sit out a year, that would be like Lincoln Riley going from Oklahoma to USC, but instead of him being able to coach this year, he would have to sit out a year to in order to fully transfer over to USC. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. So why should players have to sit out a year under the old transfer rules when coaches don't have to sit out? So that's why the transfer portal was made. Or, it would be something stupid like that. Anyways, enough of me rambling on. Let's get to these players. The number one recruit, or number one transfer recruit, however you want to call it, is a true freshman of Denver Harris. He's a cornerback from Texas A&M. Right now, he has no offers. Right now, the transfer portal officially opened in December 5th, and I think as I'm recording this, it's not even been a whole week yet. So there's some players that have gotten offers, some have gotten commits. We'll get to it when we get to it. Right now, he would have 3 years of eligibility if he goes to somebody else. The second rated recruit is Fentrell Cypress. Fentrell is coming from the University of Virginia. Right now, he has no offers. However, I've heard from rumor mills that he may go to Notre Dame. And he would have 2 years of eligibility. Or actually, he technically would have 3 years of eligibility, even though he's a senior. The reason is because... hold on. Make sure I'm... Yeah. Anyways. Let's see. Yeah. No, I'm incorrect. He would have 2 years of eligibility. The reason is because he was a recruit in 2019, and if under normal circumstances he would be going to the draft right now or graduating. But during COVID, everybody got a free pass, whether you played or not. Me personally, I kind of disagree with it to an extent. I think players should have kept their scholarships, like the NCAA said, whether you played or not. But if you played or not, If you did play, you should have one of your years of eligibility should have been waived off. If you didn't play, it shouldn't have counted. But I guess they wanted to make it fair for everybody because the whole red shirt rules also apply too, where if you don't play no more than 4 games in a season, you could technically use a red shirt. So I can kind of see why the um, NCAA ruled it that way, and then plus recently it's come out that NCAA has granted an extra year of eligibility for all the players on the Virginia football team this year due to the tragedy at UVA. While it is a very sad situation, I disagree with that. The reason is that the precedent has been set before. I remember with Virginia Tech shooting back in 2007. The NCAA did not give the players an extra year eligibility for that. So it is a very I'm very saddened by the tragedy and all. It's just, as from a football standpoint, it doesn't make sense to me. Uh, anyways, enough of that. Next guy we're getting to is Devin Leary. He's coming from NC State. He's got 1 year eligibility left due to COVID year. You're gonna hear that a lot, and you're gonna think, well, wait a minute. How does the junior have 2 years of eligibility, but this sophomore also has 2 years of eligibility? It's because of the COVID year. When it depends on when they enrolled in school. So he'll have 1 year eligibility left. Now this is not even counting any kind of red shirt rules, which I'm going off the assumption that a lot of these guys didn't have a red shirt year. So, Matt, if they did have a red shirt year, they would get an extra year. But I just went with their eligibility based off of assuming that they didn't have a red shirt year. Now, Jaheim Bell is number 4. This is the first recruit we got to, or transfer we got to, that has some offers. Jaheim Bell, they're predicting that he will go to Florida State. He's a junior. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. But 24/7 Sports is predicting he will go to Florida State. Next guy we're going to talk about is DJU Ongole. I'm trying to make sure I pronounced it right. He was the quarterback at Clemson. I wish him the best going forward. He just didn't work out at Clemson. There's no denying his arm talent. He was very talented. It's just that he didn't fit with the scheme that Clemson was trying to run, and it was showing, especially last year. This year he was a little bit better, but that was only due to his touchdown to interception ratio. Now his passing yards are about the same. In 2021, he had more interceptions than touchdowns. 2022, it was much better. But toward the end, DJ did good when he had no pressure on him. But when they kept coming after him, he would be like deer in headlights, or he'd be afraid to throw the ball deep. And it showed. Technically his last start was the ACC championship, but he only got 2 series before they benched him for Cade Klubnik. But his final full game, I guess, against South Carolina, he was 8 for 29. 99 yards passing, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. He's going to have to complete more passes. I hate to address the elephant in the room, but that's the obvious elephant in the room. You're not going to be able to be a quarterback anywhere you play, anywhere you go, completing 30% of your passes. This isn't baseball. I'm sorry, this ain't baseball. So I hope the best for him. From what I've heard, now this isn't anything confirmed yet, but the leading schools for DJ Uiagalelei is Fresno State and UCLA. It kind of makes sense to me to go for him to go to UCLA because his younger brother's going there. So, but who knows? Anyways, next guy we're talking to is Hudson Carr. He's got no offers officially. 2 years of eligibility. Hudson Carr, I think he deserves or at least a chance at a starting job, or if not the starting job somewhere else, because he came in, started in 2021. He was in a quarterback battle between him and Casey Thompson. They eventually went with Casey Thompson. Casey Thompson wasn't bad, a quarterback. And the reason Texas didn't make a bowl game last year wasn't because of Casey Thompson. It was because of that defense. Now, they've done cleaned it up with defense and made the defense better this year, but that didn't stop Casey Thompson from transferring to Nebraska, where he still didn't do that bad. So, what does Texas do? They bring in transfer Quinn Ewers from Ohio State. And you would think, well, Hudson Carr should be able to get the job. He knows the system well. No, they ended up going with Quinn Ewers. And when Quinn Ewers got hurt, the first couple games he did play, he didn't do that bad. But when Quinn Ewers got healthy, they started him, and Hudson Carr ended up going to the transfer portal. J.Q. Hardaway from Cincinnati, true freshman, and he right now got no offers. He would have 3 years of eligibility. He signed on to Cincinnati to be part of Luke Fickell's staff, or Luke Fickell's team. Sorry. So right now he's in the transfer market. My suspicion is that he's going to go to Wisconsin to follow Luke Fickell, but there's nothing confirmed yet. Now here's the first guy from a FCS level. His name is Johnny Cornelius. He's got one offer right now from Syracuse. 2 years of eligibility left. He's a junior. Like I said, it's going to get really confusing because of the COVID rule. He's a offensive guard. Right? Oh yeah, J.Q. Hardaway was a corner. Hudson Carr and DJ Uiagalelei. God dang, I can't say that name right. Their quarterbacks. Jaheim Bell was a tight end. Devin Leary's a quarterback. Ventrell Cypress and Denver Harris is a corner. I forgot to mention all those position groups in case anybody didn't know what position they played. So, and most likely Johnny Cornelius is going to go to Syracuse unless somebody else gives him a better deal. But it's not confirmed yet. Deshaun McCullough, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. He is he's coming from Indiana, and it is most likely he's going to go to Oklahoma. That's the first prediction on the list. 24/7 Sports is predicting he's going to go to Oklahoma, if not pretty much confirmed by now. One of the first commitments that was made of the more notable transfers on the list. Next guy would be Javion Cohen. Oh yeah, Deshaun McCullough is an edge rusher from Indiana. Javion Cohen, he is an offensive tackle from Alabama. Right now, he don't have no offers. 2 years of eligibility left. I suspect somebody's gonna make a run for him. Maybe looking at Clemson, possibly. I know Clemson probably won't use the transfer portal because Dabo's done said in the past he doesn't like using the transfer portal. But Dabo's going to have to wise up and adapt, or else he's going to be left behind like a dinosaur. Next guy on the list is Tamiz Adelaide from Texas A&M. He's a D-line edge rusher. He has 2 years of eligibility left. He's a true sophomore. So, no offers yet. A lot of these guys that's on the list I have no offer. So, he is a edge rusher. And then his classmate, I guess you would call him, L.J. Johnson, running back for Texas A&M. He is transferring out as well. He's got 2 years left on his eligibility. He might end up at a group of 5. I don't know. The demand for running backs is not that high, not like it was back then. Now we have the next guy on the list has got a few offers. His name is Rivaldo Fairweather. He is a tight end from FIU. He put his name in the transfer portal. He is a junior. He's got offers from Maryland, Auburn, and East Carolina. Got 2 years of eligibility left. So, I guess as far as him going to a particular school, I would say he's probably going to go to Maryland, if I had to make a guess right now. Now this next guy, I do like him. Dominic Lovett. He's got no offers right now. He's coming from Missouri. He's transferring out from Missouri. I personally love his game as a receiver. So if somebody I'm a Clemson fan, so if we get Dominic Lovett, which Clemson does need that number one. That's another issue that Clemson's had past couple of years. Is they don't really have that number one guy or that slot guy. In years past, Clemson's had that Amari Rogers, Hunter Renfrow playing the slot. And then your outside guys, T. Higgins, Justin Ross, Mike Williams in the past, and definitely D-Hop. They've been amazing receivers, both in college and now with pro. Can't really say the same about Sammy Watkins, but all these outside guys end up being great receivers, along with Hunter Renfrow. But that's what Clemson's missing is that number one guy and a slot guy. They have a bunch of number two guys to throw the ball to. So I think Dominic Lovett, if he ends up going to Clemson, he would fit in well. But I just don't see that happening. Dabo's just too hard-headed to use the transfer portal. I just see somebody like a Dominic Lovett going to Alabama or something like that. Anyways, now got next guy, Kyle Morlock. He is coming from D2 Shorter College. Right now he has one offer, and that's for Florida State. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. So, Florida State's making a run for tight ends on the transfer portal. First of all, going after Jaheim Bell, which probably be set in stone. It could miss out on Jaheim Bell, but they also try to go after Kyle Morlock. So, there's not a whole lot on him. He's got 2 years of eligibility. And following guys that I'm about to list have no offers. You have Dante Thornton, transfer from Oregon. He's a wide receiver. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. Mason Cobb, 2 years of eligibility. He comes from Oklahoma State. Luke Altmaier, he lost the starting job to Jackson Dart, and now he's trying to transfer out from Ole Miss. Dorian Singer, he's coming from Arizona. Wide receiver. Ernest Hausman. He is coming from Nebraska. He's a linebacker. He's going to have 3 years of eligibility. Ra Thomas, excuse me. He's coming from Mississippi State. Jimmy Horn. He's coming from USF. And to wrap it all up, we got Jacob Lacey. He is transfer from Notre Dame. There is one more guy. left on the list, but the last guy I'm going to talk about he's fully committed. Ain't nobody gonna touch him. Uh, excuse me, Jacob Lacey. He is a D line guy from Notre Dame. Right now, it is a two-way race between Oklahoma and Kentucky. Right now, Oklahoma in the crystal ball predictions is in the lead. They have a 67% chance, but however, Kentucky still has a 33% chance. And then the last guy that I failed to mention was Ladarius Henderson. He's transferring over from Arizona State. He's going to have 2 years of eligibility left. He is going off to Michigan. I think that's a great move for him because Michigan has been, past couple of years, that physical team that moves people off the line of scrimmage. So I just see this as a very net positive. Now, will he start? I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not into Michigan football that deep, but I think it's a good move for him to go to Michigan because Michigan's put out some decent O linemen in the draft. So that's all for the transfer portal this at this day. Now later on, I'll probably put out a video previewing bowl matchups and recruiting rate. Go over the recruiting ratings right before early signing day. I may even go live today because the only game that's on this week is going to be Navy Army. Navy Army is a great traditional game. Put the pride and tradition on the line, but that's just the only game that's going to be on. So I might talk about some of the bowl matchups. I'm not going to do all the bowl matchups all in one video because that would be way too long. So I'll probably break it up into 2 parts. And other than that, I will see you later.